These words were not chosen for style, they were chosen for death. In AIZO, King Gnu uses samurai language for one reason, to show the resolve of those who already accepted their fate. Today, we're dissecting a masterpiece, King Gnu's AIZO. On the surface, it's a stylish, high-energy track set in the neon-lit streets of modern Tokyo. But listen closely to the lyrics. You'll notice something strange, an anachronism. Amidst the electronic beats, Daiki Tsuneta drops archaic Japanese words like mairo, shimayo, and saraba. These aren't just old words, they are the language of the samurai. Why use the vocabulary of 17th century warriors to describe a 21st century curse? Today we're diving into the Bushido hidden within Jujutsu Kaisen and how this song serves as a funeral march for those who have already accepted their death. In the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, being a sorcerer isn't a career, it's a death sentence. Think about the life of a sorcerer. There is no such thing as a peaceful retirement. Whether you are a grade 1 elite or a struggling student, your journey ends only in exorcism or death. This grim reality isn't just a plot device, it's a direct reflection of the core philosophy of Bushido, specifically the teachings of Hagakure. This 18th century text famously states, "The way of the samurai is found in death." But what does this actually mean for characters like Itadori, Megumi, or Gojo? It means that to live as a warrior, one must first accept that they are already dead. Every breath they take is borrowed time. Now look at how King Gnu captures this through the lyrics of AIZO. The song doesn't paint Tokyo as a vibrant metropolis. Instead, it depicts the city as a cage or a battlefield. This is where the genius of Daiki Tsuneta shines. By weaving archaic, formal Japanese terms into a modern, chaotic beat, he is performing a ritual of transformation. He is stripping away the skyscrapers and neon lights of Shibuya, turning modern Tokyo back into a feudal war zone. As you listen, the suits, the smartphones, and the sneakers seem to disappear. In their place, we see the characters for what they truly are, modern samurai. But being a modern samurai in the Jujutsu world comes with a heavy price. Unlike the traditional warriors who fought for a lord, these sorcerers fight within a cycle of love and hatred. AIZO. In Jujutsu Kaisen, we know that cursed energy is born from negative human emotions, but the most potent, most volatile energy comes from the intersection of love and grief. As Satoru Gojo famously said, "Love is the most twisted curse of all." King Gnu's lyrics capture this suffocating weight with haunting precision. The AIZO they sing about isn't a romantic struggle, it's the combustion of the soul. It's the friction between wanting to save someone and having to exorcise them. When the song describes the shivering of the underdog, it isn't describing fear. It is describing the vibration of the blade, the moment a sorcerer accepts their role as a sacrificial pawn, but refuses to let their pride be broken. This is the urban samurai aesthetic. It's the beauty of a dignified collapse. It's the paradox of finding salvation while walking straight into damnation. By the time the first chorus hits, you realize that AIZO isn't just the title of a song, it is the manifesto of the cursed. Now let's look at the specific words that define this lyrical landscape. To a casual listener, they might just sound cool or edgy, but for those who understand the weight of Japanese history, these words are heavy with the scent of blood and incense. First, let's talk about mairo. In modern Japanese, if you want to say let's go, you use the word iku. It's light, casual, and suggests a destination you'll likely return from. But mairo is different. Historically, this is the language of a formal departure. It's the word a warrior uses when he is reporting to a superior or entering a sacred space. When this word is placed in the context of Jujutsu Kaisen, it undergoes a chilling transformation. It sounds like a sorcerer announcing his final march into a vale or a domain, a territory from which he knows he will not return. It's not just moving from point A to point B, it's the transition from the world of the living to the world of the dead. It is the ritualistic stride of a man who has traded his future for a single moment of duty. Then we encounter the word shimayo wa kodyo. In a modern city like Tokyo, everything is ongoing. The lights never turn off, the cycle never ends. But shimayo brings a violent, definitive halt. It means the end, but with a nuance of completion, or closing the curtains. In the life of a sorcerer, death isn't just a tragedy, it's the final piece of their proper death. By using shimayo, the song suggests that for these characters, the only way to find peace is to reach the absolute end of their suffering. It's the finality of a blade meeting its mark. And finally, the most haunting phrase of all, saraba, that's a robra. This is not a casual goodbye or a see ya. In fact, in modern Japan, you almost never hear this word unless you're watching a period drama. Saraba is a word of profound resignation. It carries the weight of a final parting between two souls who recognize the inevitability of their fate. When King Gnu sings, Saraba, Mata Aimasho, if it must be so, let us meet again, they are tapping into a deeply Japanese concept of reincarnation and destiny. It implies, since it must be so, since this world has forced us into this tragedy, let us leave this pain behind and hope for a different fate in the next life. This is the unique angle of this song. By using these words, King Gnu is highlighting the absolute resolve of the characters. Whether it's Gojo facing his best friend, or Itadori carrying the weight of 1,000 deaths, they aren't fighting for a happily ever after. That's a luxury they cannot afford. They are fighting to fulfill a duty, even if it leads directly to their damnation. In the West, we often view salvation as being saved from a bad situation. But the Bushido presented here offers a different kind of salvation, the beauty of a dignified collapse. What's the idea that even if your life is destroyed, your honor and your will remain intact. This is the salvation found deep within destruction. When you hear these archaic words echoing over a 21st century beat, you aren't just listening to music. You are witnessing the soul of a samurai, trapped in a modern body, screaming its final beautiful defiance against a world of curses. There is a powerful, almost paradoxical line in the song that captures the spirit of the series, Kamisoinu no Mushabudori, the shivering of the underdog warrior. To understand the weight of this phrase, we first have to look at the term Kamisoinu, that in combat sports or dogfighting, an underdog or a sacrificial pawn is someone brought in only to lose, to make the favorite look stronger. They are disposable, they are meant to be crushed. In the grand cruel game of curses and fate in Jujutsu Kaisen, many characters feel like this. They are mere pawns in a 1,000-year-old scheme, facing monsters with godlike power. Naturally, an underdog should feel one thing, paralyzing fear, but King Gnu doesn't use the word for fear. They call it mushabudori, bushashuri. This is a very specific term. It translates to the trembling of a warrior before a battle. It's not the shaking of a coward, it's the vibration of a soul, so focused, so charged with adrenaline and resolve that the body cannot stay still. It is the excitement of a samurai who has already accepted his death and now only cares about how he will strike his final blow. By combining these two words, the underdog and the warriors tremble, King Gnu is making a profound statement about the human spirit. They are saying that even if you are destined to lose, even if the world views you as disposable, you still hold the power to choose your attitude toward that fate. You can tremble in terror, or you can tremble with the fire of a warrior. This is why AIZO resonates so deeply with international fans. It's not just a J-pop song, it's a spiritual bridge between the neon aesthetic of modern Japan and the ancient soul of the samurai. It tells us that being cursed is part of the human condition, but our pride is our own to keep. Think of the characters we've cheered for. Think of the moments when they were beaten, bloodied, and broken, yet they still managed a defiant smile or one last curse. That is Mushaburi. They aren't fighting because they think they'll win a happy ending. They are fighting because in that moment of struggle, they are most alive. It's the realization that while we cannot control the hatred zoo of the world, we can transform our love, AI, into a weapon of pride. In this dark urban landscape, your struggle is your signature. Your resolve is your dignity. Even if you are the underdog, even if you are walking straight into the mouth of a curse, you do it with the heart of a samurai. You do it with your head held high. Because in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, and perhaps in our own world too, the only thing more powerful than a curse is the pride of a warrior who refuses to back down. When you hear the final notes of the song, you aren't left with a feeling of defeat. You're left with a spark, a reminder that even in a world filled with hate and curses, there is a certain salvation in the pride we take in our struggle. It's a call to arms for the modern soul, to find your own Bushido amidst the chaos of the city. So we come to the end of our journey through the AIZO of King Gnu. But in the world of curses, is there ever truly an end? When the final notes of the track fade out, and you hear that last lingering saraba, who is the person you see standing in the shadows? Is it a sorcerer who gave everything for a world that might never thank them? Or is it someone closer to home, perhaps even yourself, fighting a silent battle in the heart of a modern city? King Gnu has done something remarkable here. They've taken the ancient bloody ethics of the samurai and woven them into the fabric of a 21st century anthem. They've reminded us that salvation doesn't always mean surviving. Sometimes salvation is the act of looking at your own damnation and saying, I choose to walk this path anyway. This is the true legacy of the modern samurai. It's not about the sword you carry, but the weight of the resolve you hold. It's about finding the beauty in the love and hatred that defines our lives, and having the courage to say Sarabara to the past as we march toward an uncertain future. The story of Jujutsu Kaisen is a tragedy, yes, but through the lens of AIZO, it becomes a tragedy of immense dignity. It reminds us that even if we are all underdogs in the face of destiny, Our Mushaburi, our warriors tremble, is proof that we were here, that we fought, that we loved. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Which character's sacrifice embodies this Bushido the most for you? And when you listen to AIZO now, what do you hear in that final Sarabar? The world of curses is dark, but your pride is the light that defines the shadows. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the soul of King Gnu and Jujutsu Kaisen. If this analysis resonated with you, consider subscribing to join our community of modern warriors. Until our paths cross again in the next life, Sarabar.